Hi, I'm Simone Buna, Director of Barefoot Medicine. I really would love to hear your opinion about this. So my question today is network marketing really a scam? Everybody's got really strong opinions about it. A lot of people think it is, other people swear by it. So I'd like to just take a few minutes to tell you what my experience of it is, and then you can make up your own mind. So here's the thing. As I said, I'm director of Barefoot Medicine, and I've been running Barefoot Medicine since 2007. So it's getting on for 20 years now. And it's a healthcare business, and my focus is natural healthcare. But as a therapist, I found that I was always kind of juggling with the amount of time I could spend with clients and being paid versus the amount of downtime I could have to relax, raise my children, go to sports days when they were at school, all that sort of thing. So as a single parent, there was a lot of juggling going on. But I was worried about damaging the reputation of my business. I had a degree in acupuncture. I set up an acupuncture practice. I had postgraduate qualifications in herbal medicine, so I added that to my practice as well. And I didn't want to add anything else to the business that would damage the reputation that I'd got. But at the same time, I did need another income stream that would give me a source of income even while I wasn't one-to-one working with my clients. But I was taken in by this idea that network marketing is a scam. And for the last, I think it's probably 10 years, maybe a bit more, since I set up with a network marketing company. And I've always had this a kind of debate, an internal dialogue going on, because I found a company whose products I really loved then and I love now, and I've been taking them for over 10 years, but I didn't want to tell anybody about it because I thought it would discredit me and discredit my business, because everyone said network marketing is a scam, the products are overpriced, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a pyramid scheme, all sorts of things like that. So what ended up happening is I would use the products for myself and my family. We'd get the benefit from it. And then one day a patient came in, it was in November, and she was full of cold and she felt absolutely rubbish. And she said, "What is it about you?" She said, "Everybody around you is dropping like flies. We've all got the winter bugs, and yet you never seem to get ill. What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I eat well, I eat natural, wholesome food, and I sleep well, and I take Juice Plus." That's the network marketing product and company that I've been working with. And she said, "Well, what is this Juice Plus?" And I said, "It's fruit and vegetables in a capsule. Simple. It gives me 30 varieties of fruit and veg every day. It's backed up by science, and so that's what I take." And she said, "So all these years I've been coming to you for healthcare advice, and you don't tell me the one thing that you do for yourself and your family." And that really hit home, because I felt guilty for not having told her, but I also realized that I was afraid about my reputation, because everybody says network marketing's a scam, the products are overpriced. So I didn't want her to feel ripped off by me selling her something that was too expensive. But I also did want her to have the benefit of the best healthcare. And so from that point on, I have been selling Juice Plus, or at least letting people know about it in my clinic. And then it's up to them if they want to purchase it or not. I give them the research, I tell them about the product, I tell them I've been taking it, and then the rest is up to them. I've done my bit. Now they can make their own informed choice. But what I haven't done is focus on building a team, because, again, I didn't want all the kickback with people saying, "I'm not joining your team, it's a scam, it's this, that, and the other." And so now here I am 10 years or so later, and I think, what is the real scam that's going on here? Because actually what I see around me is that as a society, we've been made to be dependent on businesses, on employers to give us a job. But now people are getting a job, but with a 0 hours contract. So you only get paid when they need you, or if you do have a regular contract, many people are being underpaid for the work they do, or they're being paid well, but the demands are unrealistically high. So people who are dependent on an employer are actually in a really challenging position. A lot of people have to have several jobs just to pay the bills. And we're talking here about respectable jobs, being a firefighter, being a nurse, whatever we are dependent on. It seems like the most crucial jobs in our society, the things that we really need, are the ones that are the worst paid and have the worst conditions. So I think, there's pros and cons with earning money any which way you do it. But let's not fool ourselves into thinking that if you're in an employed job, it's respectable. And if you're doing something that allows you to be self-employed or independent or do it as a side hustle, that it must be some sort of scam, because that's not the case. And if you look at the way network marketing works, I absolutely love it, because the person above you can only earn money if they are helping you to earn money. So it's not like, when I worked in the corporate world, my bosses were all paid vast amounts more money than me. And yet, when I went off on maternity leave, the whole department stopped functioning. And they said, we're going to wait for you to come back before we carry on with that. Because the managers and the senior managers and the directors, they all get paid exorbitant salaries, but really and truly, they're coordinators. They don't actually do the job. The people who do the job get paid a pittance, and yet they're the linchpin of the whole organization. Whereas with network marketing, it's the other way around, that people can only reach the higher levels of the equivalent, you would say, to management, and they can only earn a decent income if they have a team of people who they work with and support. And so in many ways in network marketing, your upline is your customer. You're the one that says, I want to do this. I want to succeed. You give me what I need to succeed. You help me. You train me. You tell me where I'm going wrong. And then when you support me properly, then I will be successful and you will be rewarded for it. Now, that to me does not sound like a scam. That sounds like it's the way it should be. If the person above you has more experience and more knowledge, and they pass that on and they invest their time in helping you, and then when you are successful, both of you benefit, that to me seems like a fundamentally fair way of doing business. So the structure of network marketing is definitely not a scam. The next thing is the cost of products. So I can't speak for other companies. I don't know. Some things might be overpriced, some things might not be. What I would say about Juice Plus, the company that I work with, is that you get fruit and vegetables in a capsule. They are grown in a way that is sustainable and that is wholesome. So when the fruit and the vegetables are harvested, it's because they've been harvested naturally. They've been grown naturally in the sunshine and then harvested when they have ripened naturally in the sunshine. Okay, so they are full of the phytonutrients that our body needs. And I can say that as a functional medicine practitioner with 25 years experience. I run gut function tests on people. I run metabolic tests on people. And so I can see when we're not getting the phytonutrients. And one of the tests that I do is a metabolic analysis. And the laboratory even has a section saying phytonutrients or antioxidants from fruit and vegetables. And then you're given a grade or a score it's a bit like a traffic light system. It falls into the red, amber, or green zone. That's how important the fruit and vegetables are to us. Now, unfortunately, when you get fruit and vegetables from the supermarket, the chances are that instead of ripening in the sunshine, they're ripened under electric lights, maybe in cargo ships halfway across the Atlantic, or they've been stored for such a long time that they lose a lot of the phytonutrient density. And what that means is you go to the supermarket, you buy your fruit and vegetables in good faith, but they may not be as nutrient dense as you need them to be. And I think this is the crux of a lot of our chronic health problems, is even when people think they're doing the right thing and they're doing the best that they can, because of the degradation of soil and the quality of our food, we're still not getting the right nutrients. And so that's why I have decided to be a Juice Plus distributor, because of the way they have a proprietary harvesting system where they grow everything naturally, harvest it in a way that maintains 97% of the phytonutrients. They're encapsulated, and then it's a convenient way of taking it. Basically, it's quick and easy, and you get 30 varieties a day. So it seems to me that you get what you pay for. So you can go to the supermarket and get produce that's less than nutritious, let's put it that way. But that's not necessarily, what you don't pay for in the price, you pay for in your health. That's the way I see it. And I think wherever we've got health, we've got hope. Because if you're physically and mentally healthy, then you've got the ability to get a job, you've got the ability to go out and socialize, you've got the ability to do all your hobbies. Looking at the other way, if you win the lottery and you don't have your health, then what are you going to do with the lottery money if you don't feel well enough to go out and spend it or to buy your house or go and you get on your super yacht or whatever it may be? So again, with regard to the cost, to some extent you get what you pay for. But the other thing is that there are monthly payment plans that can make it easier to get the products. And most importantly, as a Juice Plus distributor, you do not actually have to buy the products yourself. There is nowhere where it says you must buy the product until you get to a certain level, which is likely to take you over a year to get to. Some people never get to that level anyway, because it's committed. It's, you would probably be doing the job very seriously. So you don't have to buy the products until you become one of the very top leaders. Now, having said that, I personally wouldn't buy something from somebody if they're not prepared to buy it themselves or invest in themselves. So I think it's a good idea to buy the products if you're going to sell them. I think it's morally the right thing to do. But if you're not able to afford it, but you do want an affordable way in, if you like, to doing a job, then you can have the franchise. You get the franchise, that's £35, and you immediately have a way that you can start earning money. You don't have to buy the products. Okay, so you can start earning right away. The other thing is, if you are the sort of person who will go out and buy a meal deal in the shops, and you get your sandwich, your drink, and your whatever else for, I don't know, is it £3.50? I don't actually know how much they cost. But I know that if you have the meal replacement shakes, that costs, when I last worked it out, it was £1.39 per shake. No, was it? I can work it out and I'll put it on the screen. But basically, I calculated that it's cheaper to have one of the meal replacement shakes than it is to go out and actually buy a meal deal. So I'll put the indications of UK pricing up on the screen now. So if you feel that you can't afford to actually have a monthly subscription to Juice Plus products and the fruit, vegetables and berries, then maybe look at what you can do with the meal replacement shakes. But again, it's entirely optional. You could pay £35 and just have the franchise and start earning money straight away. So again, I don't know which bit of that people think of as a scam. What I did see happening in the past, 10 years ago when I got involved with network marketing, was a lot of people with the wrong mentality going into it. And they would say, yeah, you can get rich quick, you can drive this fancy car and look at me living it up and partying all the time. And you get that in any industry. You get that whether people are self-employed, whether they're doing network marketing, or whether they're employed and they get their paycheck each month and go out and get drunk. You're always going to have people like that, and you will always have opportunities for making money. And what you do with it is up to you. my values, obviously, having been a healthcare practitioner for 25 years, I would say that I do now feel ready to have a team of people working with me, because I've realized there's so much demand out there. I cannot do it all on my own. And I also think that if you take it seriously and regard it as a business, and business is just transactions, you buy things, you sell things, you might, you buy your franchise for £35, you may buy your products, you may not, you may pay for promotional materials, the t-shirts or something like that for your videos, you may not, it's up to you. That's the nature of business. All business is about marketing. You market a product, you make the sale, you get your commission. Okay, so when people in the past said, oh, it's not about sales, it's about sharing, I would say that any salesperson in any business, in any industry, if they're a good salesperson, then actually what they do is they share their knowledge and they just say, this is a potential solution. If it's good for you, then great. And if it's not, then that's okay. So it depends what you think of as sales. It's not about being pushy. It's not about making your friends and your family buy the products, because frankly, there's a limit to the size of your family, and therefore there's a limit to the size of your income if you're going to do it that way. But if you really want to do network marketing properly, then I would be happy to help you have a plan in place to know how you would market it and how you would grow your network to do that. And I would suggest it's by solving a problem for somebody, because as soon as you can solve somebody's problems, then it's much easier to get customers and you're helping them. You're not pestering them. And I would say, don't pester your friends or your family, because they're the first ones to criticize you or tell you you can't do it or it's a scam or whatever else, because they haven't done it themselves. And so there's a little bit of judgment. They see you for who you always have been and not for who you could become. And that's why it's quite often much easier to work with people you don't know than people you do. So let me know in the comments below what your views are. That's been my experience of network marketing. I think it's much less of a scam than being employed by somebody who rips you off, treats you like dirt, and keeps you as a just about managing person. And for anybody who's then made redundant and can't find another job, or who hasn't yet been made redundant but isn't happy in work, then I'd say this is a really great thing that you can set up on the side. And then as your network marketing business grows, then maybe you're less dependent on having an employer. But it's also something you can do hand in hand if you do enjoy your job. So let me know what you think. If you would be interested in joining my team, then that would be great. Use the link in the biography for that. You set up your Juice Plus franchise, and then once a week we have an online meeting. It's called the Barefoot Boardroom. That's the online group coaching that we have, where we coach each other and support each other and set goals for the coming week. Or on Monday afternoons, there's the Barefoot Biohackers group for people who want to know about how to biohack your body, about the systems, the nutrients that support your body systems. So there will be Juice Plus incorporated into that, but it's about really understanding your health and what natural things you can do to biohack your body and be as healthy as possible. Okay, so I do have a paid community for people who want to go dive deeper into their health. But if you are just interested in setting up the Juice Plus franchise, then we will have at least meetings at least once a week. And obviously you wouldn't be charged for that, because I would be your upline. It is in my interests to help you to be successful.